everyone to Running Otaku. I am the Running Otaku, and this is the Boston Marathon Sub-3 Journey episode 12 entitled Long Run. As you saw from the intro, I did my long run today, and I'll get into that in just a second, but first, thought I'd share some of my daily life. So yesterday, my wife and daughter and I went to an alpaca farm here in Oregon. Yes, there's an alpaca farm. So we moved to Portland about a year and a half ago, and when we did, we had only spent really 2 weekends here, so we didn't know very much about the city of Portland or the state in which it exists, Oregon. So we've been doing a lot of exploring, and so the alpaca farm was on our list yesterday. So you can see here, my daughter loved it. We got to walk the alpacas, we got to feed the alpacas, we got to pet the alpacas. So now we all love alpacas. Evidently, they have some championship males, and they can fetch as much as $100,000 each, which is way more than I'm worth. So maybe I should have been an alpaca. So anyways, today was the long run, 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I ran 2 hours and 10 minutes. I guess that's the kind of guy I am. It was all on trails. The first 5K was quite steep. It climbed about 800 feet, so I would say that's probably around 250 or so meters. The next hour after that was pretty flat, well, not flat, but undulating. And then the final 10K, so the final 6 miles or so, was downhill. And I really focused on my form and my cadence, keeping 180 plus steps per minute. Even though I was running at an effort that was probably slower than my marathon pace, it turned out I ran much more quickly. In fact, I was averaging probably close to 6 minutes, 30 seconds per mile, which is this in kilometers, and felt really strong at the end of a 2 hour and 10 minute run. So that was great. So I can definitely feel that I'm getting stronger. I don't know exactly how strong I am right now. I think I'll find out next month, because in the middle of February, my team's got a 15K road race, and it's quite hilly. So I won't have a super fast time there, but at least I can gauge my fitness relative to the other guys on the team and see if I'm still at the very bottom or if I've moved up a notch or two. We'll find out next month, and I'll be sure to share that with you. So in the last episode, I was telling you how excited I was to run in these guys, these Salomon Sense Rides. Even though this model is about 2 years old, they are new to me. And before I put in my 2 hour run in them today, I wanted to take them out yesterday for 30 minutes to break them in a little bit and see how they felt, and I did. And lo and behold, I found that the forefoot area for me was really quite tight. I loosened up the laces, but still tight. So I made the executive decision today not to run in these guys, and in fact, I'm going to go ahead and return them. Might be a stupid move, because these things look like they could be great shoes, but I'm just not sure if they're going to stretch out if I ran in them for a few hours. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you encountered that where you felt shoes that you bought were really tight at first, but after running a run or two in them, they loosened up so they were comfortable? Let me know, because I want to know if I just made a stupid decision or not. So let's take a look back at this week and then a look ahead at next week. So if I look at this week here, this one graph I think is really important. It's the RSS by week, and RSS once again stands for running stress score, which is a combination of how long I ran multiplied by the intensity, for every minute or so. And as you can see, the first 4 weeks, there was a gradual increase, but hovering around 400, 450. This week was a big spike. I surpassed 500. Actually just under 550, so up by more than 10%. And I think that's attributable to 3 things. One, I ran 15 minutes longer than I did last week, so that is one factor. A second factor is last Tuesday, I had a 3.5 mile or just less than 6 kilometer tempo run at a pace equivalent to my 10K pace. So that was quite difficult and added to that RSS a lot. And today as well, 2 hours and 10 minutes, my RSS for the run today was something like 143. So it's a lot, especially those first 5K, as I mentioned, was up pretty steep. So my wattage was up, and that increased my RSS. But even with that spike, I still feel pretty good. I've been running 41 days now, I think, without a break, and I've never done that before. And I'm not injured, I'm not fatigued, I'm not sick, which is saying something, because I usually get sick around this time of year. So I'm sure just after I record this, I'll catch a cold. But at least for now, everything's pretty good. So the training with this Tin Man program has been working really well, I think. But we'll get a much better indication when I do that 15K next month. And looking ahead to next week, it's just a little bit more of the same. My kind of interval runs will be run at what's called critical velocity pace, which Tin Man defines as the pace at which you could run if you were to try and run 30 or 35-minute race at maximum kind of effort. That's the critical velocity pace. So I'll be doing a lot of intervals of that pace, which will be quite challenging. I've got a lot of uphill repeats for 1 minute long, which is a great strength builder, but also tough. And then next Sunday, another long run, which is the same as this one, 2 hours, 10 minutes. I'll probably pick a different trail, but I do want to keep a lot of hills in that long run. So even though I'm not running super fast or super hard, the hills are there for building strength. So that should really pay dividends, I think, come Boston. In the comments section to last video, one of you wrote in that you'd like me to give more tips for beginners. And I'm happy to do so. I'm just a little bit hesitant because I'm not a coach. I am, running seriously, but I took like 30 years off, so I feel a little bit like a beginner myself again. But one tip I would like to share with you about long runs. You may ask, how long should my long run be for if I'm training for a marathon or half marathon? Well, the simple and good answer to that is your run should be no more than 1/3 the total mileage for the week. And why is that? That's because if you're not running very much during, the other 6 days a week, and then you have this big, long run, you've got a good chance of getting injured. You really need to build up your body over the course of a training cycle so that you can handle ever-increasing long runs. And if you just go, one Saturday you feel great and you go out the door and you come back a couple hours later, that's a really good way of getting injured. So I don't recommend that at all. Stick to the 1/3 rule, and I think it will serve you well. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, click the like button. If you really liked what you saw, then go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell next to that, which will instantly notify you every time I upload a new video. And you can follow me along my journey to set a PR at age 48 and go sub-3 at Boston on April 15th. That's it for today. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.